So, what is petty cash? Petty cash is a source of cash on hand for the business for important items that you just, on sort of an emergency basis, you have to run out and you send one of your staff people to go and pick something up. And it's typically kept in a locked drawer or in a small safe or a locked box somewhere. Now, some of these important items could be things like stamps or birthday cake or oh yes, copier toner. Just basic office supplies, last minute sort of FedEx payments, I don't know, things that you need cash for. These days you almost don't need cash for anything, but there still is a need for some petty cash to be available to your staff. And so what are the petty cash transactions, or what are the entries? First, you have to actually establish a petty cash fund, and you debit petty cash and you credit regular cash. So you're taking money out of your regular cash account and you're putting it into this drawer, and that account is called petty cash. Now, the really important thing is once you've established the fund, you don't touch the petty cash account ever, ever, ever again, unless you've decided to change the overall fund balance. So if you start it, let's say, with a $100 petty cash fund, and you decide it's too much or it's too little, and you want to make the fund smaller or make the fund bigger, that would be the time you would debit or credit petty cash. Other than that, when you have to do regular replenishment, you don't touch the petty cash account. So how do you record a fund replenishment? Well, using the information from the first slide where we talked about getting possibly postage or paying for a birthday cake or buying toner for our photocopier, you have to gather the receipts from the cash box. So at any time, the sum of the receipts and the cash should equal the complete fund balance. So you take out those receipts, because that should be the amount that you have to replenish to the drawer or to the box, and you would record the various expenses. So we would debit postage expense for that expense amount, and office supplies for the amount of the toner, and for birthday cake it would probably be something like miscellaneous expense. And you sum all those receipts, and then you credit cash for that amount, because you're going to, again, go to your regular cash account, get a check, cash it, and put the cash back in the petty cash drawer, right? So that's how you're going to replenish the amount in the safe. What happens if you don't have the right amount of cash in the drawer when you add the receipts and the cash and it doesn't equal the fund balance? Sometimes you have someone who hasn't given you back the right amount of change. Either they shorted you a couple of pennies or they handed you too much change from their pocket. And so you end up with more or less than the actual fund balance. We use an account called cash over / short, right? So cash over short is the actual account name that you use to sort of fix the journal entry when you're going to replenish the fund. So you plug, right, whatever the amount of cash overage or underage was, you're going to plug that amount into cash over short to make the journal entry balance bring you to the right fund balance. So if you've got missing cash, it's like another expense, except you don't call it that. You call it cash over short, and you would debit that account. If someone had handed you too much change so that the sum of the receipts and the cash in the drawer is more than the fund balance, then you would credit cash over and short, and you would only have the credit to cash be for the sum of the receipts. So cash over short is this plug that you use just to make the entry achieve the right fund balance. And that's accounting for petty cash.